Alright, so Chapter 4, Espresso Depresso with a side of eye bags, let's talk about it. Now generally in my videos of Limbus Company, I love to roast all the characters and mess around. I've done it so much to the point where I successfully made everyone think I despise Dawn, despite her being one of my favorite sinners. And yes, I do have a max level Blue Archive account. But nearing the end of Chapter 4, you can see my commentary start to slow down. A lot. Nearing the end, I was finding it hard to fully collect my thoughts, because it was hitting way too hard. Which is why, to me personally, Chapter 4 is Limbus Company's Magnum Opus. At least, so far. It made me feel things I never thought I would. Like, deadass, this art of Yi Song made me want to hit that. Bro, I never thought I'd say that about Yi Song. Yaoi aside though, Chapter 4 has two main messages in it. One is how life corrupts people, and the other, the one that hits a bit too close to home, is getting through depression. In the story, we mainly follow three people and how the city ruined their lives. I know, some wholesome ass storytelling. Those three are Dongbek, Dongrong, and Yi Song. Now, I find the best way to describe how I feel about Chapter 4 is to start off with describing Dongbek. So, let's do that. Wait, whoops, I chose the after image of her. Now, Dongbek is someone who wishes for the corrupt present to be burned down so the bright past can be brought back. In the League of Nine, she was looking to just make technology with others and have a nice wholesome Minecraft server. But now, see, okay, of course, she's in the city, they don't give a damn about Minecraft. The technology they made was to be seized, but Dongbek would rather it never existed than for it to be used for evil intentions. As a result of this, she burned down the lab and all the technologies in it. Then she thought either Yi Song, Dongrang, or whoever the hell Wheaties was playing was a traitor to the organization. That is what drastically changed her. In the past, the League of Nine was a place she loved to be in, though she rarely said so. Ever since the betrayal, she became obsessed with revenge. She desperately wanted to destroy the present so she could preserve the memory of her past. Because of this, she made the Technology Liberation Alliance, a group of people who wanted to go against the technology in the city, with Dongbek as its founder. However, this is where we can see the corruption of the city take place. What deeply hurt Dongbek was the betrayal from a member in the League of Nine. Yet, she made her own organization, and did not care about the people in it whatsoever. The organization's goal was just a front for her to get revenge. She lied to them and made them die for her selfish reasons. The act she could never forgive was one she used to get what she wanted. The city changed her into a different person and corrupted the values she had. And this may seem abrupt, but let's talk about Dongrang. Trust, let me cook, it'll all tie back together. Now, Dongrang is an interesting character. At first I hated him, then was alright with him, then hated him again, but see, now I understand him. So Dongrang is a character obsessed with pride and rewards. You see it time and time again where what he values the most is his technology being shown off. Straight up, the sinners took 2 steps into the K-Corp building and he already wanted him to see his chicken chopping farm. He always insults Discount Hod by saying he's Employee of the Month, and in the past he was baffled when Yi Song wasn't going to display the mirror for all to see. Because the difference between the two is, Yi Song makes technology for the sake of it, Dongrang makes technology to prove himself. But the thing about Dongrang is, he hides his want for praise behind the idea that he's doing it for the good of humanity. He always says that his technology is making the world a better place, that he cares about life, the tearful thing included. But his actions show he doesn't give a damn. He straight up used some tears to heal a sprained ankle, something that wasn't life-threatening. And he never said a thing when the soldiers were tearing off arms to help heal cuts. I also don't think he gives a shit about human life. When Samjo did his 360 somersault barrel roll of pure stupidity, he talked like he just stepped into some gum. Motherfucker barely gave a damn, and he said he liked Samjo. Oh, Jesus Christ, what if he hated his ass? Well, I suppose he would have done what he did to Dongbek. Straight up tortured her so much to where she became an ent. So yeah, Dongrang, a full-blown steam train of rectum, pure asshole energy. But the thing is, that's kinda not the case. In the past, Dongrang actually wanted to save people. He spent time away from making technology or garnering any praise so he could raise a baby calf, which is in stark contrast to the person he became. I mean, an animal can barely even give thanks, he just did it out of kindness. At the beginning, before he betrayed the League of Nine, he genuinely wanted to make technology to help others. It was only after the critique from the other League members, specifically Dongbek, that made him decide to seek praise. At the beginning, he wanted nothing more than to help others. Then, after his creations were called worthless, when his life goal was viewed as impossible and naive, he then changed. He threw the technology he made into the concept incinerator and a part of him died that day. That's when he started to seek out praise and affirmation that he's doing the right thing, that he's saving people. However, that's not the only reason he wants praise. He also wants it to escape the League's shadow. He views the League's existence as proof that he can never be as good as the other members in it. Hell, he had immense pride in being able to use a mere technology Young G made. even though using it for torture stood against its original purpose, to display hope. He has very blatant imposter syndrome. Even Alfonso asks him if he knows where Young Ji is, hinting that he'd be a better choice. Imposter syndrome was how the city beat him down and corrupted him, and is why he cherishes the League of Nine photo, because to him, that shows a point in time where he was truly happy and was making technology for a good purpose. And Dongbek changed by becoming the villain. She used to love technology and the joy it brought. She was genuinely happy in the past. However, after the betrayal, she was a completely different person. Before part 3, damn near everyone looked at her as the villain. She was the one running a literal terrorist organization, but her reasoning was to put a stop to the corrupt present and future, which is also understandable. Like Dong Rang, she had a good goal, but the city changed them and how they look to accomplish the goal. And now that I've mostly described how I feel about Dong Rang and Dongbek, let's talk about Yi Sang. So, Dongbek is depression originating from the future, and Dong Rang is depression originating from the past. So, what does that make Yi Sang? Well, he's like the third Pokemon game in a generation, you feel me? He has the best of both worlds. His past and future both make him feel dead inside. Which, I mean, damn, yeah, ain't that some fun shit? Now, surprisingly, there was one point in time where Yi Sang was happy. That was in the past. Briefly. At that point in time, he enjoyed making technology with the League, and when any problems came up, he simply ignored them. That is a problem and what led Yi Sang to where he is now. You see, Yi Sang is most closely tied to Sloth. In his life, he never faced any problems he had. As he said, he was slantwise and waited for them to pass him by. As a result of this, when Dongbek insulted Dong Rang, he didn't say anything, despite hearing a crack. That crack grew and eventually caused the League to shatter. Which is why, whenever he looks back to the past, he isn't sure if he was truly happy or just ignorant. Was the happiness brought by him enjoying life, or by ignoring how he was ruining his life? But one thing is for certain, when the League burned down, he became taxidermic. He was dead inside and was just used by people, used for his talent. Something he also grew to hate, as his talent caused harsh working conditions for children in T-Corp. So when he was in the white box, he hated himself. He viewed his sloth and his talent as sins and would not forgive himself for what they caused. As a result of this, he became obsessed with the mirror, with how Sang-yi looked. When he viewed the mirror, he saw himself with wings, the ideal version of what he could have been, and he became obsessed with that image. That was the only thing that mattered to him, and that is the most realistic part of Yi Sang's story. Everyone has had moments where they've hated themselves for stuff they've done, or became obsessed with thoughts of what if I was a better person? What if I looked better? What if I had better grades? What if I made more friends? Those are thoughts that are not exclusive to anyone. They shackle billions of people. As a result, some people became obsessed with imagining the best version of themselves. And we see Yi Sang do this. The mirror displays countless possibilities. Yet, in the story, we only see one possibility, Sang-yi, the best version of Yi Sang. We never see how the current Yi Sang has succeeded in life, where he is better than a version he could have been. We can only compare him to the version that has wings, which is very realistic because to many people, when looking back at your past, you will only see everything you could have been. The only thing that remains prominent in your memory is the times you messed up. Yet, you won't look at all the positives you've accomplished. People can list all the positives about you for years. Yet that one voice of critique, of hate, that will drown all the other voices out. And for most people, that voice is their own. I mean, shit. I know I got that voice. Yi Sang is a genius, made revolutionary technology, was willing to give up his wealth for his friends, and had no point of pride behind what he made, just pure wonder. Yet, Yi Sang remarks that in his past he was an ignorant fool, his creations only brought harm, and now thinks that he himself is worthless by comparison to what he could be. Like many people, he is unable to view himself realistically. Because of this, he wishes to die, so he doesn't need to face those problems. The only reason he was able to escape Gubo is because his reflection pushed him forward and he held the infinitesimal hope of finding a group of companions. And as a result, he joined Limbus Company. But his problems didn't end there. In the company, he still never faced them head on, and when asked about his feelings, he never confided with others. He never looked to help his past, which is also not uncommon at all. Many people don't wish to look at their problems, as in doing so, you will end up feeling like shit. It's not easy to see where your sadness is coming from, much less confide in others about it. However, in the Mirror Dungeon, he was forced to. He had to read the script and relive everything that brought him to the present, and it made his allies see it too. Because of this, he was finally able to understand his emotions and understand what he needs to do in life. When going through the story, we see him obsessed with his image in the mirror. He uses that as a form of escapism, yet it also binds him. On one hand, he can focus on that and ignore reality, but on the other, he views it as proof he doesn't have wings. However, after viewing his past, he sees the real reason he made it, to connect with others. which is far from how he was at the start of the game. He couldn't even stare at others, much less talk with them. Going through his past changed him. He used to want to die, do nothing and hope the problems he faces just wash away. When Dongrang is fighting him, we could see him in the back with the other sinners protecting him. And this is where we can see the main message of Chapter 4. At first, I said Chapter 4 is about life beating down and corrupting people.
역시 변절자 새끼!
그래서 난 사진이 좋았어요. 사진은 정직하게 내가 담겨 있잖아요.
가장 절망스러웠던 순간은 그곳에서 끊어졌다 믿어 의심치 않았던 목숨이 재생되던 순간.
But it's really about life beating people down and them gaining the hope to overcome it.
아니, 난 그 언제보다 정신이 활짝 피어나는 것 같아.
거의 다 왔어. 곧 내 기술을 만들어서 알맹이를 채워나갈 거거든.
세 잔을 켜고
자유롭게.
Dongbaek had her ideals as a person corrupted, yet gained ego and looked to use herself as a martyr to preserve the past. Dongrang had his past consume him, so he gained the ego to wash it away, so he can be free. Yisong hated himself and wanted nothing more than death, yet gained wings and with them saved himself and faced his past, his own problems, head on. The message is that even if life is beating you down, you can overcome that hardship. We can see that even further in the mirror technology. How each character views it is a window into their own thoughts. Dongbaek sees the innocent past within it, showing how she wants her life to return to that point. Dongrang views it as a tool to further his own gain, showing that he no longer cares for technology's purpose of helping others. Yisong once viewed it as proof that he had messed his life up, that he is not the best version of himself. Then, later on, he learns that the mirror is proof that he has the possibility to grow his own wings and fly. Out of the three, Yisong is the only one to face and accept both his past and future. I feel that if Dongbaek or Dongrang had taken the same route as Yisong, then they would not have had to die. Unfortunately, they came to their own realization on how they wanted to spend their life, and in doing so, went to kill Yisong. And I say unfortunate as I truly believe that Dongbaek and Dongrang deserve to live. Don't get me wrong, they are far from saints, but I can't fully hate them. Dongbaek's obsession with getting revenge is justified. She had everything taken away from her. Dongrang's obsession with self-worth is something everyone struggles with. It's not rare to hear a child's gleeful dreams be shut down by people saying you can't get any money from that or that it's unrealistic. And feeling like your accomplishments are overshadowed by the talented people around you is something that will never be fixed. Though Yisong's story is the most beautiful. He once hated his ignorant past and slothful future, wishing for death to fix his problems. However, after going through his past, confronting his choices in life, he came to a realization. The realization was that even though he made mistakes and wasn't the same person reflected in the mirror, the fact that it was him doesn't highlight how he failed in life. It instead highlights what he can become in life, which is something that I feel is very important to hear. Without going into specifics, in the past I've fucked up before, and I spent way too much time worrying over how I could have been better. And in so doing, I wasted a lot of time. I felt locked down by my regret. So seeing a story of someone who can acknowledge what is holding them down and unshackle themselves so they can fly, it hits hard. Chapter 4 is about rising above what is holding you down. You shouldn't be obsessed with ideas of how you've messed up in life or how you're not the person you wish to be. Which is why, when you're looking at where you believe you've wasted your life, when all you can see is what you believe you could have been, you should acknowledge those thoughts and come to the realization that you can improve from those faults. You can change. So don't become consumed by them. Take them in and acknowledge the world around you for what it is, because it is beautiful.